Hello, my name is Ruth Quiroa. I'm one of the course instructors for RLL 520, Survey of Youth Literature Pre-K through 12. In this PowerPoint, I will cover a few of the concepts that are important to the course, to underlay, and that are important to understand. To begin, we'll start with the term young adult literature. This references books that are published for an intended readership of 14 years old through 18. Sometimes it will say grade 8 plus or 14 plus when you read book reviews. The term children's literature, in a narrow sense, references books intended for babies, infants, through 14-year-olds. Again, that 8th grade year. So it has a younger readership in mind. The field has titled these two sets of books youth literature. However, this is a fairly new term, and the more commonly used term for all books, birth through 12th grade, is children's literature. So you'll have to look at the context around a reference to children's literature to determine if it's specifically focusing on younger children or if it's referencing all books. I certainly don't want to use the term and have any high school teachers out there feel excluded. But this is how it turns out, and hopefully that helps as we move through the course. The second term that's very important to understand is that of trade books. What are trade books? You can find them in the library, you can find them in the bookstore, you can find them on Amazon, but you can also find books that aren't trade books in Amazon as well. So what aren't they then? Trade books are not books that are published by a Basel publishing company, Houghton Mifflin, some of these others, in which they find an author, they hire an author, they ask the author to write a book for grade 2 Lexile XXX with a controlled vocabulary. They're not written to be used as trade books or as level books in guided reading. At the same time, many trade books, when they come out and are very popular or award-winning, it may be that Lexile levels are applied to them in subsequent editions or Fontes and Pinnell, and you may see notations as such, but they weren't originally intended for that. Rather, they are published to be enjoyed by students. Another thing to think about is the issue of high quality texts. What do they do? What are they? I'm going to list a few things here for you to read. No one likes to read a bad book. No one likes to be moralized or read a book that is so didactic or formulaic that it's not pleasurable. No one wants a book that doesn't tell the truth, and we all want to expand our awareness. Youth want to do the same thing. So high quality texts embody quality, have integrity, and show originality and creativity. We will now move into the second part of this presentation, the course overview. Please know that you don't have to take specific notes on this. Just sit back and listen and sort of get an eagle-eye view of the course. The course is heavily front-loaded. The Getting Started module and modules 1 and 2 will provide you with resources and skills and set you up so that you could have a successful term completing each of the course assignments. The work cycle looks something like this. In each module, your first task is to read professional readings, maybe chapters, articles, review some websites. Then you should go to the discussion board related to these professional readings and review the information there. Prompts, resources, maybe even videos. You might consider posts made by your peers before you begin posting. In modules 2 through 11, you will participate in book clubs, one book club for each module. So if you look at the middle bullet there, in module 2, the whole class will be reading Charlotte's Web because that week focuses on literary elements, and Charlotte's Web is a classic, and we can look at the literary elements in Charlotte's Web. The rest of the modules, you will be selecting one specific book from several options. So in modules 1 and 2, you'll have the opportunity to examine those titles and make your selections. You will sign up with 2 to 4 other students to form groups of 3 to 5. You'll read your book for each module, and then you'll participate in a book club discussion with your group members around that book. That is one aspect of the book clubs. In modules 2 and then again in 3, the course instructor will model what online book club facilitation looks like through their first posting and through their participation in the group conversation that will follow. So you will see the course instructor module before you're expected to do it. However, when you're signing up for your book club titles in modules 1 and 2, you should think through which book you might like to facilitate between weeks modules 4 and modules 11. Are you attracted to a specific title? Are you attracted to a genre? Remember, as you're signing up for books, you're going to be signing up for books you haven't read before. So you'll want to get your book that you're going to facilitate way in advance of the week that's your turn to facilitate, so you can read it and prepare your materials in advance. I would note, you can read all the book club texts in regular formats or on an iPad or other mobile device. You can listen to it in audio, which is a favorite of many students in this course. In fact, I've had feedback that students get so involved in the book that they sit in their car and listen for lengthy periods of time. Here's a suggestion. If you're listening to a book in audio format, I would recommend that you check out the regular book format in case there are some structural clues or illustrations or photos that you really need to make meaning while you're listening. You can use it as a backup reference. While you're reading your book club text, you want to keep notes. All these notes will help you as you're formulating your book discussion postings, your online book discussions. So no, your notes won't be collected by the course instructor, but if you keep them, and here I've listed a few things you can read through, if you keep them, you will have these as you begin creating your posts.